So forget everything you've heard and we'll rewind the last minute and a half of that interview and you completely wasted your time. So Frank Leboeuf will have a test tonight.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so, yeah.
This is like an April the 1st joke where you convince everybody that he's not playing.
In the end, Ronaldo turned up, played poorly and France won easily. No one ever found out what happened to him that day. It could have been toothache, but who cares? Ronaldo Gate was priceless live TV.
That was even better than the match.
Yes, yeah. Motti was, he was up for that one. There's no question about it.
4 years later, and Ronaldo's back in sparkling form, winning the Golden Boot with 8 goals. But what was his hairdresser playing at? That's not what I understand by a Brazilian.
Hairdresser was quite nervous about that one. How's that for you? And Ronaldo hadn't gone, ah!
Well, I think, you know, it was undoubtedly ridiculous haircuts, and, you know, I'm not going to criticise Ronaldo for that. If you score 8 goals in the World Cup, you can have whatever hair you like.
In '98, the Romanians all went blonde. They reckoned it was team bonding. We think the cleaners tampered with the shampoo.
They all look like androids trotting out. They've probably just got a job lot down the chemist and put it on themselves, and it's come out a khaki orange colour.
They've all gone blonde and look like characters from a Nightmare Stephen King novel.
I don't know why they did it.
Did all of them have...
Every single member of the team, yeah. I mean, I'm no fashion expert, but, you know, yellow and yellow is too... You can have too much of a good thing, can you?
It didn't work because you always need to know who your best striker is. So they were passing the ball to players who, quite frankly, were there just to make the numbers up.
And here's Bulgaria's Boris Mikhailov, complete with receding hairline. But wait, a few years later, he has a luxurious head of nylon.
There he is with like this kind of John Travolta quiff.
Fair play to anyone wearing a wig in a sport where you have to jump around.
How did that wig stay on as a goalkeeper? You know, did he actually sometimes like, I won't go for that one because the wig might come off or something like that?
9 minutes 20. And the man with the weave or whatever it is, beaten for the 3rd time.
Ball played in quickly.
In 1982, Kuwait made their first and so far only appearance in the World Cup finals. They were losing 3-1 to France in a group match when they conceded another goal and pandemonium broke out.
Platini. And offside, no he's not. It's Alan Girette. And that one counts.
It's a perfectly good goal, the referee gives it, and then the Kuwaitis start protesting wildly because they think that they've heard somebody blow for offside.
The Kuwaiti team appealed, and their most influential fan, Crown Prince Fahad, showed his displeasure.
And Kuwait are refusing to continue the match.
Bizarrely, rather than look to the manager for guidance, they look to the royal prince who sat in the crowd, which I couldn't really see England doing, to be honest.
The head of the delegation is there, in full regalia.
Prince Philip would be a good diplomat in those situations, wouldn't he?
Especially in the World Cup, wouldn't it? Because he's got a good track record of dealing with other nations as well.
I remember the Kuwaiti prince walking onto the pitch and going, yeah, come on, we're off, it's my ball. I played for this team. Bye. It's only the World Cup. Don't worry about it.
And the police are being called in to get people away from the pitch.
But great power to be able to walk down onto a pitch. Every fan would love to do that, wouldn't they?
The Kuwaiti prince was as persuasive as only princes can be, and the ref decided he'd better check.
He's going to talk to his linesman. He's going to suggest to his linesman that maybe there was a whistle in the crowd.
We used to use that very same excuse in school games. We heard a whistle, or someone would actually take a whistle on and play with the referee's mind.
And the situation is completely out of control.
It's maybe not surprising that that particular referee never officiated another World Cup game.
For his unusual approach to pitchside diplomacy, the prince was fined £5,000, but that wouldn't have troubled such a wealthy man.
Oh, it must have been a major blow. I bet he was ringing the bank manager saying, look, is it in there? Is it in the account? We got enough?
The penalty shootout, the best way yet devised for sorting the losers from the winners. But we don't remember the winners, only the hapless losers who made a complete shambles of the whole business.
Every time you take a penalty, you know that you lose out, because if you score a goal, it's done. But if you make a mistake, nobody forgets it.
Oh, skied it!
You put the ball down like that, and you look at the other players, and they all go, "You'll be all right. You'll be all right." And then you turn your back to take the penalty, and everyone goes. Everyone turns around, looks away, and they listen for the roar or the jeer.
If you're going to miss a penalty, hit the bar, hit the post, let the keeper make a spectacular save. Don't hit him, Moshead.
The man who really has brought the team to the final now has to save them. And it's over the top.
My plan was to lift the ball, but not to that extent. Absolutely not.
In a brilliant career, Baggio made 2 dreadful mistakes, missing that penalty that cost Italy the World Cup and telling the barber, just leave that bit at the back.
Maybe they were all holding up mirrors behind the goal, and it's the first time he actually saw how silly his hair looked. But it was a terrible haircut and a truly dreadful penalty.
What a way to lose.
If I had been able to, I would have disappeared underground.
No one can cock up a penalty shootout like England, and no one can cock up commentating like King Kevin Keegan.
Now, you know him better than anybody. Do you back him to score quickly, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, he hasn't! No! Argentina and England...
Nice one, Kev. And David Batty is in fine company.
And England are out of the World Cup.
There's no amount of consoling that is going to make it any better, apart from if you get to do a pizza advert a couple of months later.
Pizza Hut pan pizzas, unless I'm mistaken.
Get paid for doing your job wrong.
This time is it the post?
The World Cup training camp, skipping with Nobby Styles, dancing with Big Jack Charlton and laughing at Gazza's hilarious antics. I don't think.
You're together for like 3 weeks or something like that, so, you know, being in the camp, it isn't as much fun as people think it is.
And when they're not practicing their penalty shootouts, they play golf or find other more mischievous ways to entertain themselves. And at France 98, they came up with a particularly novel one.
Righty told me and said, Brighty, listen to the interviews. The boys are having a little bet on who gets the most titles of songs in the interview.
How are you looking forward to it all?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, we've had some magic moments this season, and it's just, you know, gets better and better.
Basically, they're all cliches, weren't they? You know, oh yeah, because I heard it through the grapevine, and the winner takes it all away.
This stepping stone, if you like.
It's a bit like a ghost town here, you know.
It's now or never.
It was clever, you know, because not many people spotted it.
For a while, the journalists were totally oblivious to what was going on, and the players rather enjoyed getting one up on them.
How are you doing? You look relaxed, but is the tension building a little?
I can understand not being aware of it, because you're trying to do this interview and you're trying to be really serious, and you're aware that it's going out live to millions of people.
I mean, it's hardly Club Tropicana, Bob. It's been raining all day.
And he's going, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
You're not going to get any careless whispers from me, Bob, about the team.
There's like 21 of the blokes in a room 50 feet away, and they're laughing their socks off thinking, 1, and they're counting, 2.
Delighted to get off the mark, no doubt.
Yeah, we're all excited. We weren't exactly dancing on the ceiling, but we're keeping our feet on the ground. And
you can imagine them going in after doing one of those interviews into the dressing room and going, yes, I got dancing on the ceiling in.
But the game was up when Hoddle's Aga-do-do-do was spotted by the ever-vigilant Ray Stubbs.
Stubbsy got wind of it, and he's like, Alan, you know, is there a little bet going on here for the one who can get the most songs in?
I hear there is a wager on this trip for the players that can actually get song titles onto the television. Is that accurate?
And obviously Alan Shearer, quick as a flash, went, oh, it's just your imagination.
It's just your imagination, Ray.
It's not true.
You missed that one.
Even Alan Shearer was funny. You know, I think that's how good it was.
Are you still naming the tunes?
No, it's all over now, Gary.
Look out for more World Cup outtakes with some rocking celebrations, some bloody battles, and some little minnows with big ideas. That's next time on World Cup Outtakes.
From the World Cup to just general soccer idiocy, in football gas galore next on 3.